Hey guys, it's Mimi. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. We haven't had physical church now for over a month, maybe even 2 months. So if you're starting to feel it, this video is for you. I don't know about you guys, but I've really missed having physical church and attending the temple. I'm missing my ward, and to be completely honest, after not having church for a couple weeks, I really felt a spiritual void in my life. It really took me to realize that, to take initiative into filling my life with more spiritual things since we don't have actual church right now. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you 7 tips to staying spiritually grounded while quarantined. I am not going to be saying, like the basic primary answers in this video. I wanted to give you actual specific tactical things that you can start applying today. So if you're interested in hearing those, just keep watching. By the way, if you are new to my channel, if this is the first time that you're seeing me, hello. Again, my name is Mimi, and I make videos about all things LDS doctrine, culture, and news, and a little bit about my life. So if you're interested in those topics, don't forget to subscribe below. So my first tip I have for you all is to set aside 15 minutes every single day for spiritual activities. So anytime you want to build or develop a relationship, you have to do that with time. And that includes your relationship with God. Now that we're not having 2 hours every single week for church, we need to fill that time elsewhere. This is really where I had a hard time at the beginning of this quarantine, because I continued doing my daily scripture study, but that didn't really fill the extra time that I was missing now that we weren't having church. That's the first tip that I have, is to set aside 15 minutes every single day. So this does not include your scripture study or things that you were already doing on a regular basis, and I'll give more ideas throughout the rest of the video of what could fill this time. But this needs to be a one-on-one time with you and God. Tip number 2 is to serve others. Now I know that in this time of social distancing, it's really hard to find ways to serve other people without being physically close to them, but there are always ways if you look for them. I know a lot of people have been sewing masks and donating them to local hospitals or shelters. Something that I have been enjoying doing is just reaching out to friends and family, maybe that I haven't spoken to in a long time. This is the perfect time to start scheduling phone calls with your grandparents or other more distant relatives. Another thing, if you're a student, something that I recently did was write thank you notes to some of my professors that really helped me along the way at BYU. And trust me when I say it feels so good to serve and just show gratitude and appreciation to the people around you. And if you have any other service ideas, please drop them in the comments below. We would love to hear them. I know there are also a lot of other websites too, like Volunteer Match, and a lot of them have virtual opportunities of ways that you can donate your time. The third tip I have for you guys is to study your patriarchal blessing. So this doesn't mean just reading it over again, but now that we have more time, this is a really good time to dig deep and research and study some of the stuff in there. I haven't really done this since I got my patriarchal blessing like 6 years ago. That is crazy. Something that I did when I first got it that really helped me was actually to go through, and as I read through, I would find specific phrases or words that stuck out to me, or maybe were describing me or my talents, and I would look those up in the topical guide, which I literally used to think was the tropical guide, and I didn't find out till I was in seminary. I would look them up and just learn a little bit more about myself and what the word or phrase means. There's a lot of things that mean one thing to us now that we use in our modern day vocabulary, but have a very different meaning in scripture. So one example of this is our tribes. So I'm actually in the tribe of Manasseh, and nobody in my family was in Manasseh. My husband, they're all in Ephraim. I feel like that's very common here in the States. So when I got my patriarchal blessing, I really wanted to learn more about what this lineage meant. And I went to the topical guide and I learned as much as I could. Now is a great time to really dig in deep and study your patriarchal blessing to gain more insights about you and your gifts. Tip number 4 is to make a happy jar. So I have my happy jar right here. I actually just made this not too long ago, but I saw this really cute idea on TikTok where anytime something really happy happens to you, you just write it down on a piece of paper and you put it inside a jar. And I've been doing that. I've got 3 in here so far. And I've loved having this because it just gets me looking for happy and positive things that happen to me throughout the day that I maybe otherwise wouldn't be looking for. They don't have to be big. One of them was just getting Bahama bucks with my husband on a really hot day. So I write down the date and I write down what it was. And then at the end of the year, I'm gonna read through all of the things that made me happy. And I think, especially right now during this crazy time, it's great to be able to look for those little happy moments. And very often those happy moments are also the hand of God in our lives. So this has really helped me have an attitude of gratitude. And send me pictures if you end up making one, because I think they're just so fun and cute to have, and they can be cute decorations too. Tip number 5 is to meditate. Meditation is always something that I just thought I couldn't do. I just constantly have ideas and thoughts running through my mind. I was like, there's just no way I could sit there and do nothing. We've been advised, I feel like I've heard a million people throughout my life say, oh yeah, meditation is great. It helps you not be stressed or whatever, but I just never thought I could do it until I started doing yoga pretty regularly at the beginning of this year. And it has been an amazing source of peace for me, and I've really been able to meditate during yoga, and which I thought is really cool because it's not just sitting there, you're actually, you know, doing physical activity with it. And it has just been such a great way for me to collect my thoughts and relax. If you've never tried meditation before, I know that there are a bunch of apps out there that can help you, that do like a guided meditation, or I would highly recommend doing yoga. Just right now, I feel like we're constantly surrounded with the news and information about the virus, and it's just been so nice to have. I just try to do 15 minutes in the morning where it's just me and my thoughts. I can collect myself at the beginning of the day and really feel like I'm getting a good start. Tip number 6 is to pour out your heart to God. This is one that really just came upon me yesterday. That's actually what inspired me to do this video. Is I just felt really repetitive with my prayers. A lot of the times, you know, we're praying for similar things like over and over again, but I had the realization when I was listening to a conference talk yesterday, it was just that I needed to be more authentic in my prayers and really just pour out my heart to God, because there's nothing that I could think or feel that He wouldn't want to hear from me. He's there to help us. So I had this prayer yesterday and it was amazing, and I just said everything that was on my mind to God. It just felt so good to get it off my chest, because it's not like I felt like I was holding anything back previously, but I would just have these thoughts throughout the day. I'd get stressed or feel anxiety, and I just wouldn't think about bringing those things up in my prayers. So yesterday, I just sat there and I prayed for so long. And I think it's okay to, like, you know, say some stuff and then just have silence and think and just feel and then continue. And I think that God is just the best listener, and He will help us if we allow Him to. So if you've been feeling, maybe you guys are already awesome at this. I'm sure a lot of you are. I have some amazing viewers, but if you've been feeling like maybe you haven't been talking to God, or you just feel like you've been repetitive, I would definitely recommend just set aside time, just seriously kneel there and think and feel, how am I feeling, and just share everything with Him. And you will feel amazing afterwards, because once you tell Him how you're feeling, it opens you up to receive His guidance. Tip number 7 is some extra resources to fill up that spiritual void in your life. So like I said earlier in this video, I think it's really important to have 15 minutes a day just dedicated to spiritual fulfillment. And this is outside of your normal scripture study routine. Some ideas that I had are, watching LDS videos on the church's website or on YouTube. There are so many. And these don't even need to be videos specifically from the church. The church has great ones, don't get me wrong. But sometimes I'm in the mood to watch a YouTube video. I don't necessarily want to watch a Mormon message. So there are a ton of great other YouTube channels out there, like Saints Unscripted. I'm biased, but that's my favorite one. Also people like Sunday Jess or L. Fox Caraway. Listening to conference talks daily has been really good for me. I would definitely recommend that too, along with reading spiritual books. I have been reading the Saints book. Again, it's my second time reading it, and I absolutely love it. Just because it's learning more about church history, but it's written in an entertaining way that I actually enjoy reading, and it's actually getting me back into reading, which I'm really excited about. There are a ton of really good LDS based books that aren't necessarily scripture that are really uplifting to read too. If you have any good LDS book recommendations, please again leave them in the comments below. I need to build my list of books to read, and we'd love to hear from you. I know you can also go on websites like Deseret Book, and I'm sure they'll have plenty of recommendations there too. So those are the 7 tips that I have for you guys to staying spiritually grounded during quarantine. If you've been struggling with, not going to church and not going to the temple, I feel you, I feel for you, stay strong. I really hope that these tips can help you guys, and if you have any other tips, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you and learn from you. You guys are so intelligent, and I love reading your comments. Thank you so much for your support and for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.